Hello and welcome to Property Money Trees Maximising Property Values, the once a month show where I break down the steps of how to recognise, enhance, and then extract the values in property in order to create wealth. Would you like to find out how you can benefit from the steps of maximising property values? This is even if you don't own a property yet or have a deposit. If that's a yes, then you're in the right place to find out. My name is Patricia Faber, and although many know me for my work as a solicitor, on this show you will be getting the benefit of my 30 plus years worth of experience of maximising property values, experience which has given me a net worth in millions. So who might benefit from listening to this show? Literally anyone with an interest in creating property wealth. Good morning and welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about another Enhance project. This again was a very small flat, so not a massive spend in London. Flat was bought for £200,150 in an auction at the end of June. During the first lockdown. It took a while to kind of get finished because we had to wait for the freeholder's permission to change the layout of the flat. It wasn't too major, nothing structural. Moved the kitchen out of where the kitchen was, put it into the lounge. It had a really long rectangular lounge, so it literally just kind of lent itself to that kind of change. And we closed a couple of doorways in order to create a study nook, because obviously people are working from home a lot these days, and we wanted to create a special area in the flat just for kind of working stroke studying. And we built wardrobes into each of the bedrooms and then just did a complete refurbish. Rewired, replumbed, new central heating system, new flooring, and that's what we did. So let me give you the figures. Purchase price £200,150. Bought it from an auction. Were really lucky to be able to get it at that price. Short lease, lease extension costs £20,750. Cost of the works £22,600. So all in all, I kind of have rounded up the total spend after the purchase at 50,000. The adding that to the purchase price brings us to 250,000, and it was just valued for 350,000. Obviously, that's just a paper valuation by an estate agent. Don't know how much it will actually get because this is a flip project. We're not looking to remortgage and take our money out, but you can see what those figures actually do. So if you're looking at an uplift, just a straight uplift on the purchase price, we've increased the value of this particular flat by 75%. And if you're looking at return on investment, which is all of the money spent, we're looking still at a staggering 40%. So you can see how these figures are just absolutely amazing. And this is something which was bought in London on the open market, as it were. It was in an auction. Everyone had access to the listing. Everyone could have bought the flat had they wanted to. They didn't. And that actually was because the listing details were incorrect. So when the auction catalogue came out, the flat was listed as having a £999 ground rent, which it didn't. The ground rent was actually zero. So that put people off, and that made it not sell in the auction. And myself and my JV partner were therefore able to go to the auctioneer at the end of the auction and offer to buy it for £200,150, and we got it. Well, we offered 200,000 and the auctioneer said, add another 150 and you can have it. So we said, yeah, we'll do that. So again, people say you can't get bargains. You can't get bargains on the open market. That has not been my experience. This particular project demonstrates that you can. It was, as I said, I have a JV partner on this one. We bought it for cash. So we've not incurred any finance expenses. But even if we had incurred finance expenses, we would still be quids in. So let me just run through the things that we did. These are very simple things that really anybody can do. So this is a project which I am doing the podcast. I'm recording the podcast in January 2021, and the photographs are yet to be taken, the professional photographs, because I always have professional photography for anything that I do. So they're going to be taken next week, and then I shall put them on my Instagram feed for people to have a look at. An estate agent that I work with a lot came in and said 350 easily. Was that just to get the business? Was that realistic? I've double checked that on my desktop valuation, propertydata.co.uk, and that actually bears that valuation up. So we are very happy with that. Going to get another agent in, because I don't use just one agent. I always use two, and we hope to start marketing the flat next week. So that will be in February of 2021, and the updates as to what we achieve will be on my Instagram page when and as that happens. But nevertheless, looking at this on paper, 40% uplift on what we spent, 75% increase in value, comparing the purchase price to what the agent says it's worth today. Well, obviously that the 350 given by the agent may go lower, we might achieve it, don't know, haven't sold anything in the pandemic. And again, there is talk of a London exodus, but this is a lovely flat in a gated kind of like area, just 9 flats in the block. So it's quite small, 3 stories high. Although it's a red brick building, it's actually a very attractive red brick building. So what did we do? How did we do this? We weren't actually able to see this flat before we bought it, but we saw the floor plan, we saw the photographs, we did a Google Earth search to kind of like, have an overview of the area, roughly familiar with the area because it's in London, and we were happy to bought. When we did eventually see it after the lockdown was lifted, we were really pleased because there was nothing that surprised us in the flat itself. It looked extremely unloved, which I guess, a coat of paint could have resolved, but that's not how you add value to properties. So we took the kitchen out of the room in which it was in. We moved it into the lounge, which was a long rectangular lounge, which was perfect for having the kitchen at one end because it didn't intrude on the other end and it didn't dominate the room. So that was the first thing that we did. And then like I said, we created this study area. So the door that went into the bathroom, we blocked off. And right next to that door if you think about something that's perpendicular to the bathroom doorway, was the door to an airing cupboard. So we blocked that off as well. And then the side wall to the airing cupboard, we then opened up, because that was part of the corridor for that particular flat. So we opened up a doorway in there, and so we've repurposed the airing cupboard, which is now a kind of like little hallway type thing to go into the bathroom. Then in the bathroom, so again, the bathroom backed onto the original bedroom in the flat, so we carved out a wardrobe in the bathroom so that that bedroom now has a built-in wardrobe without eating into any of the space in the bedroom, because the wardrobe has been taken out of the bathroom. And then we just put the bath back in, shower over, put some niches in there with lovely little kind of like spotlights at the top, back to wall toilet with one of those like hidden cisterns, because the theme of the bathroom was sort of like grey and black. We used a black flush plate to kind of like make it all just tie in. Go and have a look at my Instagram feed, and that is Property Money Tree, at Property Money Tree. And hopefully the photographs would have arrived by then, and they will be on there. I am just so excited about this project. I just couldn't wait to share it with you guys in this podcast. And the property that I was going to be talking about before, I will now do next month. But this is so exciting. I had to share it with you now. So we did that regarding the bathroom, obviously looking very contemporary. The bedroom, again, we had wall lights. And then the other thing that we did, but I don't think this has added any value, hopefully it will make it more attractive to buyers, is all the light switches were Alexa enabled. Gorgeous light switches and sockets, black glass fronts, touch switches for the lights, just very, very contemporary. So the kitchen, the old kitchen, is now a bedroom. So again, what did we do? Put the wall lights in, just completely refurbished it, replastered the whole flat completely. It's a complete refurbishment. So that would have been done anyway. And yes, it looks nice. So the kitchen had a really big cupboard, I guess like a pantry kind of like cupboard. And that is the wardrobe for that bedroom. We widened the doorway for this cupboard, so the wardrobe has two doors, so it's like a double wardrobe, double-doored wardrobe. And that really was what we did. So you can see that we didn't actually have to do very much. All it took was a bit of imagination to be able to see the potential of that flat, what could be done with it, and the rest of it was just down to interior design, making sure it looked absolutely stunning, completely contemporary, very attractive to anybody, and didn't go crazy with it. Personally, my style is black and white. I like monochrome, and that is what is reflected in that flat. But it's all made to look really nice and inviting. The only pops of colour in the flat, outside of white, black and grey, pop of colour is orange. So the sofa is orange, and the coat hanger is the coat rack, not coat hanger, coat rack, that's orange as well. And those are the only bits of colour, well, and the cushions as well. So I tend to keep things very, very neutral, because whilst I love orange, certain buyers might not. But even if they don't like orange, they come into the flat, they see the orange sofa, they can just envisage their own colour sofa there. the sofa doesn't come with the flat. It could do if they want it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be there. So that's what I do. I tend to try and keep it very neutral, and that way it appeals to as large an audience as possible. So that is the enhanced project for this month, one that I'm really excited about, and I can't wait for it to go to market and then to see what we actually achieve. And I will update this on my Instagram page, Property Money Tree. But again, just to reiterate those figures, I've rounded up the total spend after purchase at 50,000, adding that to the purchase price to 250, valued at 350 for a net uplift of 40%. But if you take the 350, compare it to the purchase price of £200,150, that is a staggering 75% uplift. Simply done, small space, not breaking the bank, and that again, 100,000. And that, as you can see, again is a 3-figure sum increase for 6 months. Okay, it took longer than we wanted it to take because we had to get the freeholders' permission to do what we wanted to do, and they just took forever to come back to us. But they did in the end. They came back to us in November, and we immediately were able to get a team in there to start the works. And then we had the Christmas break, which obviously they had to stop and be with their families and things, and then we had another lockdown, and so deliveries were delayed. But we have now finished, and we're going to go to market next week, and I am so delighted to be sharing this with everyone. If you have any questions, like people have been doing, just DM me on Instagram and we can set things up. And if you are on Clubhouse, then again, reach out to me on Instagram if you want to talk about any of the things that I talk about in my podcasts. We can do a closed room and I will be happy to talk to you. But in the meantime, do take care. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope that at the very least you have found the talk thought-provoking. If you enjoyed the show, please do subscribe. In any event, please do rate and review the episode because it would be great to read your feedback. Thank you very much, and hopefully see you next month.